Hi, I'm Kristen Derting from class of 2019.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Today's conversation with Kristen is brought to us in part through the ongoing support of 2009 graduate Matt Cox and his company, Saucetown Properties. If you or anyone you know have a house you want to sell, but don't feel like dealing with the hassle of doing repairs or hiring a realtor, go to saucetownproperties.net to get a fair cash offer today. And today we are joined by 2019 graduate Kristen Derting. Kristen's best memories at South were her time hanging out in Chef's classroom, helping run our culinary events. She was a key member of our AVID program, our band program, and our cheer team, as well as honing her skills with our rifle club. The latter led to Kristen becoming a 7-time NCAA All-American while at Ole Miss University. She was a member of the USA, or is a member of the USA National Rifle Team, and she's now the assistant coach for the University of Nebraska women's rifle team. Kristen earned her bachelor's and master's in hospitality management and is still pursuing her athletic career while she's coaching. Kristen, welcome to your time in the spotlight. We're so pumped to have you join us today. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. We're recording this on a rainy Thursday here. How's the weather out in Nebraska?
Pretty good. We had our first false fall, so it was really beautiful for a minute, and now we're back to pretty summer weather.
Yeah, will this be your first winter there?
No, I was here last year, so that was my first winter. I think the lowest was like -19.
Oh my
So that was a
goodness.
bit of a shock coming from Salem.
I know. I think the coldest we got last winter is actually a pretty mild winter. I think we got to like 29 degrees, but yeah, congratulations on all the success. Let's take you back to your years at South Salem. Did you grow up in Salem?
Yes, yeah. So my dad actually went to McKay, and I've been in Salem my whole life. I was born at Salem Hospital. My mom is not from Salem. She moved there to follow my dad, but I've been there my whole life.
Yeah, and you become a Saxon, and your years just predated when I got to be a counselor for the last name's letters D. So we missed each other by a little bit. But talk about your years as a Saxon. What were those 4 years like? How'd you get involved in culinary and Avid? Tell us all.
Yeah, I mean it was great. So I actually was supposed to go to McKay, like based on where I live, and I ended up going to South just for the culinary program, and I didn't know much about it. I just, it was an interest I wanted to do, and I knew that I liked South a lot. I had a lot of friends going there, and so I started the program my freshman year and really, really liked it. And then I ended up learning about the culinary team, which I had no idea about. So my sophomore year, I ended up joining that, and that's when I met Chef Laura. And things just kind of took off from there. She really helped me a lot in high school and a lot with figuring out what I want to do with my life.
Yeah, what is it about Chef? What is it about the classes that she teaches that had such a profound impact on you?
Yeah, she's been really great. She's very personable. She also really cares about her students, so that's definitely a big hit. I know with me, but also a lot of her current students. I still keep in touch with her, and it seems like she's still just as popular as she was when I was in high school. And then I think also just how much dedication she puts into each person. So she really took the time to make sure that I A, knew what I was doing in class, and then B, figured out what I wanted to do after high school and navigate, that growing into adult life.
Yeah, she seems to have that really profound gift of seeing a student for more than just their academics, right? That she has the ability to see the whole person and to celebrate and support the whole person too. So shout out to Chef. I'm sure she'll be listening as well. But yep, she's definitely had a big impact, not just on you, but on so many students here. How about the AVID program? What was that experience like?
Funny enough, my mom made me join, and it was really fun. Honestly, I got to meet a lot of people in there. I got to get a lot of really useful skills, not only for high school, but also for college. And I do remember some of the like service projects we did. I don't know if they still do it there, with the Thousand Souls project, and then just some of our other things to help prepare us for college. So it was really cool being an Avid. Big shout out to Avid. I know sometimes people think it's a lot of work, but it was really great. Sorry, that's my cat.
Yeah, it's all good. Incredible program, incredible teachers as well, all throughout Avid. Really amazing humans that teach Avid. And so I'm glad that you had a good experience too. Tell me about the involvement with rifle. Where did that come from? Certainly a niche sport in terms of, I don't know a lot of students who are involved. And where did that come from for you?
Yeah, so actually I used to be a gymnast when I was younger and I got hurt. My parents were looking for a sport for my brother, ironically enough, and they were out at the rifle range, saw an ad for it, and so they took my brother. And he didn't like it. It was really slow, very boring. And they told my parents that actually girls are generally better at it than boys. And so my mom's like, I didn't even think to bring our daughter. She's looking for a new sport. So they brought me out and I fell in love with it from there. It started in a very small local gun club we have out in North Salem, and from there it grew. There's a club up in Tri County, and then that took me to college.
Yeah. How old were you when you first showed up and started participating?
I think I was the tail end of my seventh grade year or the beginning of my eighth grade year.
So, fast forward 5 years from that and you are headed to college, had to be part of that team. How'd you land on Ole Miss? What was that experience like in choosing? Was there a recruitment process?
Yeah, there is. I actually got my foot in the door because of a teammate I knew from my junior club. She went to Silverton High School and we did gymnastics together, which was a very funny coincidence because
Yeah, no
we
kidding.
didn't know each other when we did that, and we just happened to kind of re-meet at the rifle range. And she ended up signing to Ole Miss, and then that's when I kind of took an interest in the program. The coaches contacted me. I was brought out on an official visit and fell in love with the school. It's beautiful. If anyone ever gets the chance to go to Oxford, it is beautiful. And then it
Hard to
all went
compete
from
with
there.
that campus. It's incredible.
Yes, yeah, definitely. It's amazing, and I mean, it's just so impressive how much they change out all of the flowers every year and how much effort they put into the aesthetics.
Yeah, and being a D1 athlete, that is, and student athlete, really, what was that balance like having to train and compete, but also balance your studies?
It was pretty tough to get adjusted going from high school to college. I think that's basically the case for anybody. Obviously, I mean, you're taking the next step in your education, so it's going to be tougher. But once I got there, kind of got my feet under myself, it became more manageable. Funnily enough, did kind of bomb my first math test. So I ended up putting like 25 or 30 hours in the math lab a week on top of my normal athletic schedule because I did not want my coaches to be mad at me for failing math.
Man, that's hard work in and of itself. Just that one class. I would talk to an athlete last year, interviewed them, and they said something that is super maybe a misconception often with D1 athletes is that they have it easy. And when really you probably have it harder than most. Yes, you've got access to things. Yes, you've got some of your school paid for, if not all. But the difficulty that it is to balance that athletic requirement as well as the academic challenges, there's not a lot of grace that exists there.
Yeah, we've got really high standards. I know I do for my program here that I help coach, and then my coaches did when I was a part of their program at Ole Miss. I think it was my junior year. I remember really specifically. We had weights Monday, Wednesday, Friday, starting at like 6:15 to 7:15, and then from there I'd have classes from 8 until probably 2:30, and then I started practice from 3 to 6. So it was definitely long days, and we do get a lot of help. It's great. I had access to tutors. I got help finding my textbooks and all of that stuff. It was great, but it definitely is a big task to take on.
Yeah, and a seven-time All-American. What does it take to be that successful? Like, what are the skills that you are practicing every day to get to that level of success?
Man, I don't even know. I think that it was just mostly like hard work and dedication. I feel like everyone's going to say that, but it was a lot of hard work. There was a lot of hurdles to overcome. There was a point in my career that, I thought that maybe it's not for me. Maybe, college is the highest I'll get of just being on the college team is the best I can do. And then from there, I think once I finally started to relax and not put that pressure on myself, I started to do well. And luckily, it was at the same time a lot of my teammates started to do well. And that was also when we brought in our first international athlete who ended up being my best friend. So she definitely really helped elevate the program. And all of that combined brought us to our first NCAA championships in like 13 years. So it was just a lot of hard work, a lot of hours put in.
Yeah, no doubt. Congratulations on all of that. I know you're coaching now, but you're also still training, it sounds like. How's that balance? Tell us about just what life after high school, or excuse me, after college has been for you in terms of that training and still being an athlete.
Yeah, it's been really interesting to get adjusted. I've really been trying to just figure out the schedule because obviously when you are an athlete, you've got a pretty strict schedule that's built out for you. Basically, every 15 to 30 minute out like block is set in stone. And so it's kind of similar to having a real job, but we also have a little bit more free time or ability to be flexible with our schedule, which is nice. So I have the girls practice early morning, Tuesday, Thursday, and then I'm at the range all day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so right now I don't have access to the range, which definitely sucks because our range building is under renovation. So I've been practicing at home, but I think that's kind of what is going to set me apart from others is just doing that work when I don't have access to things and putting in the time. And then when I'm able to get access to the range, doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, ultimately, what's your goal as an athlete?
I don't know. So I'd like to go to the Olympics, but that's a pretty big dream. It's really hard. Only two women in each discipline ever get chosen to go to the Olympics. I think I probably had a shot my true senior year, not my fifth year. And sorry, I need to take my cat off this computer.
Tell us about your cat. What's your cat's name?
His name is Mittens. My parents found him on the street when I was at college. Yeah, I thought he was really cute, so I was like, I'll take him. I ended up taking him back to Ole Miss with me, and now he's just a nuisance.
So the Olympics, yeah, ultimately the Olympics is the goal, and sounds like you had a shot, but where are you at now with it all?
So my fifth year, I like started not to progress as quickly as I was my true senior year. So that was unfortunately when trials was. So I'd like to give it another shot for this next quad, 28th in LA. So it's in my home country, which is really cool. So I think once I get access to like live firing on the range and I start training a little bit more after taking a break last year, I will hopefully be able to pick it up just like I was my senior and fifth year at college. But it definitely took a lot of work to get there. That was when I was traveling the most internationally, so that helped a lot too.
How's the shift been into coaching?
It's different. It's definitely weird. Obviously, I mean, I've been around a lot of coaches in my life, but actually being the coach is definitely very different. I remember the very first day we had practice, the girls are, on the line shooting. And when I was in their position, I'd always just wait for the coach to come up and talk to me and, tell me whatever corrections they think I need. And I remember sitting there watching them and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm the one that has to go up and tell them, hey, I think you need to do this or, what are you working on and those kinds of things. So since then, I've kind of gotten more used to it, but it's definitely a weird turn.
And you studied hospitality. Was that something that came from culinary experiences here at South, or is it a tangent of it? I would talk about that experience in college.
Yeah, so I really think if it wasn't for rifle, I would have gone to culinary school. I know Chef and I talked about it a lot, and with being in the management and the culinary team, there's a lot of scholarship opportunities, but I really wanted to pursue rifle, so I ended up taking the college route. So the best of both worlds that I could get was majoring in hospitality management, which for those of you that don't know, culinary itself was basically like back of the house, so anything in the kitchen. And then hospitality management was a lot of stuff, what we call front of the house, um, really where you would actually see customers and run the business and that kind of thing. So it was really great. I got to know my professors. They actually asked me to stay and do my doctorate. I told them no, I was holding out for this job, but maybe in the far future, because I'm kind of done with school right now.
Yeah, that was my question is where do you see this leading to, whether it's combined with coaching or something separate down the road?
I don't know. I just like that I've got a lot of opportunities open for me. I think that whenever I do move back to Oregon, it will be what I end up doing as a career. Unfortunately, we don't have any college rifle teams in Oregon, but yeah, I'd like to continue as a coach, at least for the time being. I feel like I've got a big commitment to my girls. They've been setting some really amazing program records. So I'd like to stick with them and see that through. And then with hospitality management, it's definitely what I'll fall back on. And it's also a passion of mine, just a little bit less shiny.
Yeah, no, but still just as great. And that's a perfect segue into our big three questions today, which are brought to us as always from support with the Saxon Success Fund. Saxon Success Fund is a nonprofit organization for anyone who's listening that raises money to invest in our school and our students through capital improvement projects and college scholarships, all with the goal and purpose to transform South High from one of the best schools in the state to one of the best schools in the nation. And again, we thank our many, many, many supporters through our alumni and as well as our community. If any of our listeners would like to get involved, they can go to saxonsuccessfund.org for more information. So, Kristen, question number one for you of our big three: knowing where you are today, all that you've accomplished, everything that you're up to, what or who has helped you most get to this point?
I think first and foremost, definitely my parents and my brother. They were the ones, traveling with me to competitions, taking me to school, going to jazz band early in the morning, staying late for cheer practice, and then going to the rifle range. So they definitely were my biggest supporters. And right next to that is Chef. I know I've mentioned her a couple times, but she really was the one that told me, when I had a lot of those doubts that I could do it. She's like, no, you can do it. Put your mind to it. You have 100% of the capabilities. Like, why not go for it? So she was kind of my cheerleader in the background, and definitely those two groups of people.
It's huge. I did get to be your brother's counselor. How's he doing?
He's good. Yeah, he's at OSU right now. He's in a frat. We're actually in two very different college life experiences. So obviously, I was a student athlete, and he is in a fraternity. But it's been really great. I mean, I know it's made him a lot of friends. I've had a lot of friends from high school go to Oregon State, so he's doing very well
Good.
and
Well,
enjoying it there.
please tell him hello and give him our best. Question number two, Kristen, of our big three. What's one piece of advice you would give your high school self?
Probably just to keep pushing. It will work out in the end, and to relax. That the work I put in is will reflect eventually. So enjoy the moments while it's there, and don't take it for granted.
So good. So good. If you could transform the South Salem High School that you remember or add or take away anything in one way, what would you adjust about our school?
I don't know. I feel like the obvious one is the cool new capital improvements you guys have. That would have been really sweet when I was in high school.
Right? Obviously seen our new culinary space. It's breathtaking.
It is. It's awesome. I've had the luxury of going in and helping chef out, so that would have been game changing, had it been there when I was there. But other than that, I mean, I feel like that's gotta be it. It's just the new facilities. I was sad to see the Rose Auditorium go, but I'm kind of glad that they kept some of the memorabilia.
Yeah, yeah, it's so great. They did keep so much of the history, or at least give some acknowledgement to it as well. Well, those are our big three questions, but I've got more for you. And I'm curious, we're not recording this during Women's History Month, but you had indicated that's really important to you. What is Women's History Month and why is it important for us to celebrate?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a big thing, especially in college athletics. It wasn't not too long ago that women in sports didn't necessarily have the most equal opportunity. So that's where Title IX kind of came around, and that's why we see a lot more support for women's sports than we did in the past. I've definitely been an advocate for Women's History Month, and then also for National Women's and Girls in Sports Day. So that was a big one during my college time. And I just think both of those are really important. It's great to see, all the women that didn't have those like resources and accessibility when they were my age, being able to see that like I get to live that out based and thanks to their hard work. Um, Whenever I talk to my mom, she's always like, "Yep, there was some woman out there that worked really hard for you to have that, so take advantage of it." And I just think that's amazing. And obviously, I was on an all women's team, and we do compete co-ed, so it's just really cool seeing that space set aside for us girls and being able to use it.
Well, I'm sure you have paved the way too for those who are going to follow, and even as a coach now that you get to be able to do that and invest and instill in women as well. Pretty amazing. So keep up the good work, and thanks for sharing that. It's a really powerful message. We'll close with our rapid fire questions, Kristen, and these ones are brought to us by another one of our sponsors, Dr. Corey Bickler at Bickler Dentistry. And at Bickler Dentistry, your experience is comfortable, it's personalized, it's stress free. Whether you need a routine cleaning or advanced restorative treatment, the team at Bickler uses the latest technology to keep your smile healthy and confident. Discover compassionate care and exceptional results right here in South Salem at Bickler Dentistry, owned and operated by 2009 graduate Corey Bickler. Okay, rapid fire questions. Favorite TV show or movie?
Oh man, that's tough. Right now, I'm watching Modern Family a lot. That's been definitely my go-to. Man, that is tough. I'd say probably that.
Favorite dish to cook?
I've been really into homemaking pizza, but actually like homemaking the pizza dough as well. So that's been pretty good as well as like trying to dabble with some sauces.
What are your go-to toppings?
Pepperoni right now, but we had been doing pineapple and Canadian bacon. I know that's a hot take, but I give a ride for it eventually.
I love it. Favorite class you ever took in college?
And college, oh shoot, that would probably be my hotel management class. I had this really cool professor. We ended up going out and interning, kind of like a mini intern at a hotel, and she was just super cool, showing us the ins and outs and getting to know all the like hoteliers and Oxford.
Great. Besides culinary, what was the class? Let's say besides Avid too, what was the class that you have used most in college and life from high school?
Man, that is tough. You took out my two big ones. Shoot. Probably math, because I really had to put that to work during my freshman year when I failed that couple exams. Um, but Mr. Takari definitely came in clutch with that and helped me push through to end up getting an A, even though I got like a 0 on my first exam.
Shout out to Mr. Takara for sure. Favorite place to eat when you're in Salem?
Probably Memoji. I'm a big sushi fan. And other than that, there was a place called Lucky Fortune on 45th and it burned down. So if that was still up, definitely Lucky Fortune. But since that burned, probably Memoji.
All right, last two questions. Give us a shout out, anyone that you want to celebrate or highlight, and then followed by anyone you think we should bring onto this podcast and interview as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think my shout outs always go, obviously, all my teachers I had in high school, they were all really great in helping me get to where I am today. Shout outs, I would probably go with Enrique Flores. He was my friend from elementary school. We went to different middle schools and then ended up meeting again in high school. My boyfriend, Brett, funny enough, I've traveled all around the country and the world and ended up with him who I went to high school with, which I always find hilarious. And then obviously you for hosting this. This is awesome. So it's really great. I've never seen any other school do it, and I think it's really cool.
Oh, well, thank you. We've loved doing it. It's been such an incredible experience to connect with students. Some of them I know, some of them I don't, but to just be able to amplify your stories and all that you're doing and then connect that with our current students, right? So that they can see, oh my gosh, this is what's available to me. This is what's possible. Someone that went through my school, someone who is in a culinary class now is doing this or studied hospitality. That's been really fun to see. So I appreciate you saying that and appreciate all the ones that have tuned in, everyone we've been able to celebrate so far. Anybody else that we should bring on? Who do you think?
Man, I don't know. That's tough. I know Connor Richmond was someone who I went through culinary with, and he was really doing some cool stuff last I heard. So probably him, or I know Melvin Bolsinger also has been doing some pretty cool stuff with culinary. So either of those two guys would definitely be cool to hear their stories.
Well, I love it. And Kristen, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for being someone that we can spotlight and celebrate. Thanks for all you're doing and the ways that you continue to instill in our current students here, coming back, working with Chef, sharing your message and sharing your experiences. I know it's had a real impact. So we appreciate you and hope you have a great rest of your day. That's it for our conversation with Kristen. Kristen, best of luck to you as you continue training and have such ambitious goals in mind. Thanks so much to our sponsors, Saucetown Properties, Dr. Corey Bickler at Bickler Dentistry, and as always, the Saxon Success Fund. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll have another great one for you next week. Go Saxons.